I thought really, really good performance by our team. I thought a lot of kids made huge contributions. Obviously, you look at the stat sheet, and we had a lot of career day performances from a lot of them. But I'm just proud of the way they responded after, a tough loss Thursday. We just talked about the need to be able to flip the switch quickly because obviously you're playing within 36 hours later. And I thought they did a great job coming in on Friday. Just more of a walkthrough at that point just because kids had played a ton of minutes, and I thought they were really focused mentally because we had to take it easy physically, and then this morning had a walkthrough and just thought they did a really good job coming in just mentally prepared and coming out and executing the game plan. I think probably one of the biggest challenges for us heading in was just obviously having a short-term memory and not letting what happened on Thursday impact what happens today. And then, Bradley plays 40 minutes of zone defense, and we really haven't seen much zone all year. I don't think we've run an out-of-bounds play against the zone all year, so we definitely had to go through just some preparation on both sides of the ball where, in recent games it's been more just one side of the ball defensively. So I thought they did a great job just with the entire game plan on both ends, which can be a lot in a short period of time.
We saw there for a brief second in the second quarter how Bradley made that little push and took the lead there, and then you guys were able to still come out and win by 33. You say that you were happy with the way they responded to the loss that you guys felt like you should have won, but to respond to that as well within the game. When what was kind of the message there to where you guys were able to wake up and run away with it?
Yeah, somebody asked me earlier what I said during that timeout, and I don't really remember. It was just, I think, more of a sense of a feel that, you could just tell we were kind of getting away from what we had come out to do. And I think the way we started the game offensively, sometimes, you can get kind of complacent and think we get off to a good start and that it's going to be easy. And I thought we lost a little bit of our focus on the defensive end of the floor, and then I thought we lost a little bit of focus on the offensive floor, just a little bit sloppy. So I think more than anything was just a quick reminder of, hey, let's stay disciplined, understand why we got off to a good start. This is what we need to do on both ends of the floor. And I think, credit goes to them because obviously they flipped the switch pretty quickly and we got right back to staying on course for what the game plan was and what we needed to do both ends of the floor, and really didn't look back after that.
What are you seeing in Kennedy Taylor right now? That's 3 straight double-doubles for her. That's a career high in points. Just what are you seeing her turning into at this point in the season?
Yeah, she's been great for us. I don't know how much of it's what I'm saying right now. I think it's what I've been saying to her, 2 months ago, a month ago, when I felt like she had more in the tank than what she was giving us. And that was even before maybe games started. I felt like she could be huge for us. And so I'm just proud of her from the way that I've been really hard on her, early on, was really hard on her. And I think things have really started to click for her. I think she's obviously gaining a lot of confidence, and she just continues to get better and better with every game. I think probably what I'm most proud of, in addition to her responding, some of the things that, I was really on her about is just her consistency. There's a lot of young players that will come in and have a career day and they turn around and they're non-existent the next game. And so for her to come in and keep putting together back-to-back career days and just playing with the consistency that she has, that's probably what I'm most proud of her about, that she's been there for us every game. And she knows that we need her. We're counting on her. She knows she changes us. I think she's really gained a lot of confidence from that. But more than anything, she's been somebody that we've been able to count on night in and night out. And she continues to put these performances together. So I'm just happy with her consistency with it, probably more than anything.
Coach, your team shoots 51% for the game. You're plus 13 on the boards and you're plus 24 in the paint. So would you say complimentary basketball is exactly what that was?
It was good, and too, you look at 20 assists and 12 turnovers. That's huge for us. I think since Christmas break, I'd have to go back and look at the exact stats, but, we started to have a couple games where we were a 1-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, and then we were just a little bit above. And to have 20 assists and 12 turnovers, it's something that we've talked a lot about, of getting our turnovers down but having more assists. And so I think all those stats, like you mentioned, kind of across the board, really, really positive. Pretty efficient. I think if we can continue to be efficient, I think certainly we're trending in the right direction.
Yeah, you scored 24 off their 20 turnovers. I asked the girls, what is it about right now that has your team and the men's team kind of on the same page? Like, you guys kind of went through the early winter process, kind of get momentum, and now you're both on the right track. What is it about right now that's kind of giving y'all so much momentum to carry forward?
Well, I don't know. Don't jinx us, but as much as you have short-term memory, like we wish we had a different outcome on Thursday. So, we got humbled on Thursday. I thought we turned around and responded, and we need to put another really good stretch together. Obviously heading into our next game on Wednesday. So, just one game at a time, continue to focus on what's gonna help us in each individual game, and I think take it one game at a time and just continue to build on the positive things that are happening, but at the same time we still have a lot to work on too. And there's a lot of areas we still have to continue to get better, but I'd always rather learn those lessons from winning than losing.
And lastly for me, Sydney Wilson had only 4 points tonight, and I only had 12. I mean, you've got people on this team that are being able to step up no matter what night it is. How nice is it to have that luxury of depending on whoever, whenever the situation calls for it?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I think across the board, I feel like we have kids that can contribute depending on how teams are playing us, and I think you're seeing that. I mean, I thought, even though I thought Anaya was like the silent assassin tonight. You look at a lot of career days by other people, but she was 5 for 9. She had 12 points. She had 5 assists. I thought she was outstanding in the way she defended tonight. So I thought she was really good. But sometimes it gets overshadowed a little bit when you have a couple other kids have some career days. But she's been huge for us. I thought she was great tonight. Really was a floor general for us, and really led the way. And Sid's right there for us, and I think it was good that we were able to limit her minutes a little bit tonight as we try to just manage her throughout the course of the season. So it was good to have other kids step up so she could get some rest on the bench tonight.
Teams you've had in the past, are they typically this good at rebounding? I mean, this right now, offensive per game, you're 5th in the country, and rebounds per game, you're 19th in the country. I mean, those are some amazing numbers. Yeah,
pretty good. I'd have to go back and look. I think we've had some good rebounding teams. I don't know if we've ever been ranked 5th in the country, in that category. But, certainly it's a strength of ours. I think we can rebound from a number of different positions. You look at why are we good at rebounding? I think you've got kids that have a nose for the ball and have a hunger to go get it. But, our point guard's a great rebounder. So when you have, your point guard all the way down to your 5, I think certainly that gives you a little bit of a different look on the glass.
I see Izzy Delru just be able to have her career high tonight as well. And I know she was kind of down after the Illinois State game with some of her shooting, and we keep asking about shooting after some of these games, but to see a night like that for her, just what's that kind of mean to you, to see guards and young guards kind of having that kind of performance? Yeah,
I don't know if it's what it means to me per se. I think it's probably more what it means to her, because I think I've got confidence in her, but I'm not the one shooting the ball. So sometimes when you go through a stretch where you're not hitting shots, sometimes it can affect you a little bit mentally. So I think more than anything, it's probably a good confidence booster for her. Just stay the course, stay the process. I think probably people focus on so much the offensive end of the floor, obviously with Izzy and the way she's able to stretch the defense for us and her ability to shoot it. But I think probably what I'm most proud of her is just how locked in she's been defensively. I think she's made a tremendous jump. You look at where she came in, even in the spring when I came in, and you look at the improvement on the defensive end of the floor and just being locked into the scouting report and how to defend people, and she's playing a lot of minutes. I think that's probably where I'm most proud of her, just what she's been able to do defensively for us to just be somebody that we can count on.
And Taylor Woodhouse, you put her in the Illinois State game for a little bit. She's able to get some good minutes tonight. What are you seeing in her right now that's you're trying to get her more minutes and trying to develop, and what do you kind of see in her right now?
Yeah, I think Tay's one of our better shooters on our team. So to be honest, just more from that standpoint, I think it was maybe the Iowa State, the Indiana State game where she played. If she didn't even necessarily play a lot of minutes, but she's played some critical minutes for us. And I think she's definitely been focused. She's been working really hard. I think she's been a little bit more understanding, what we need her to do. You look at yesterday, she came in and, Coach G put her through, kind of individual workout and got her some game speed shots, even though we weren't doing physically anything with the rest of the team other than a walkthrough. But, it was for that reason, because I felt like she was somebody that could come in and really be somebody we could count on today, especially when you're going against a zone. I feel like she's somebody that can stretch a defense for us and knock shots down. So I was really happy. She's been putting in the work, so it's good for her to be able to come in today and get rewarded like that.
Is that a role you want to see expand throughout the rest of the year? Is that somebody
absolutely
using that?
I feel like, yeah. I don't want to play 7 kids. I think it's if we can get another guard or two or another person in that rotation, absolutely. And I've had a lot of confidence in her, I think even just in her preparation and just kind of how she's been going about things, whether it's scouting report, day before game walkthrough, like all those little things matter to me. And, I tell the kids that all the time, like little things that they don't think sometimes I notice or matter, like I notice all that stuff. And so I've just noticed she's made a huge step just in a lot of little areas and things that I've focused on, trying to get her to do more, being more vocal on the team, impacting the ball more defensively, just being a great communicator. And, I've always had confidence in her ability to shoot it. So I think, she's done a good job, coming into practice and earning some more playing time. And so it gives you a lot of confidence as a coach today to put her in, in a key role in the third quarter and play really good minutes and really play the rest of the way for us. I think that's really, really positive.
I got one last question. Izzy said that she feels like right now MVC is really up for grabs. How do you feel about the way your team is playing and her thoughts on how the conference is really there for the taking?
Yeah, I kind of feel, I don't know the conference inside and out yet, but I have a lot of confidence in our team and, focusing on controlling the things that we can control. I know that there's some really good teams in the conference. I do feel like, night in and night out, it's anybody's game. And, I think if, whoever plays well and does the things that they need to do, obviously, I think, has a great opportunity. But I always go into any of these conference races, wherever I've been, I always feel like, I'm always in it to win it. And that's always the approach we'll have, is everything we do is we're in it to win it. And so we're going to put our best foot forward and make sure that our team's prepared and just take it one game at a time and let the chips fall where they may.